Well, good evening, everyone. Bill Anderson here. Another live stream. I'm on my own tonight, but I'd like to see people participating this evening and giving me some feedback. I hope you like, first of all, the kind of rainy theme that we got in the background here. I thought it was appropriate for the sort of weather that we've had over the last few days at least. Okay, first of all, I think it would be very remiss of me if I didn't do this, which is to wish all our, oh, come on, here we are, to wish all our Irish friends and relatives and all of the Irish people, 538 actually Irish people who are registered as resident here in Mijas, a very happy St. Patrick's Day. And well, you know, I have to do that with a glass of something alcoholic. So to all of you who are Irish, have Irish roots, or have adopted Irish nationality for the day, a very happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. I'm I'm terribly sorry it wasn't Guinness, but Guinness gives me terrible gas, so I had to make do with a glass of beer. Okay, I have asked a question regarding the live stream for this evening, and I will be asking you for some feedback about whether or not you find these useful, whether you watch them live or whether you watch them retrospectively, either via YouTube or via Facebook. You know, I set this up thinking it would be a good idea to try to communicate with residents, and we are very dispersed over Mijas. But that was my idea, and you know, what I'd like to know is what your views are on the live streaming. But first of all, before we come on to that, I've got a few things I want to mention. Um, I received today an update. I asked for it, an update on the basically the breakdown of the population here in Mijas. Um, I've been saying there's about 85,000 people registered in Mijas. Actually, there are over 90,000 people registered in Mijas now. Clearly, the largest national group within that is Spanish, and about 60,000 of those registered in Mijas are Spanish nationals. However, that leaves 29,000 foreigners or international community registered here in Mijas. So 29,000 out of 90,000 is pretty much a solid 1/3 of the population here in Mijas are foreigners. And let me just give you some. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but if I mention just some of the sort of main nationalities that are represented here, um, British residents are still by far the largest group. There's almost 9,000 British residents registered here in Mijas. We've got 1,500 Italians. We've got a lot of Moroccans, 2,500 Moroccans. We have from the Netherlands over 800. We've got well, we have Russians and Ukrainians living quite peacefully together here, about 900 of each actually registered here in Mijas. We've got Serbians and Syrians and people from Sri Lanka, from Sweden, just under 1,000, 914 from Sweden. What else have we got here? Venezuelans, large number as well. I suppose that reflects the old Spanish Empire. But just over 90,570 people registered, and that is as of the 11th of March 2022. So this is bang up to date. But a good solid third of those who are registered here are the international community. And I would have to say, as the only foreigner on Mijas Council, we are very underrepresented, should I say. I would like to see the international community being far better represented at a political level and recognized at a community level. That's my view. But of course, not all of these 29,000 are able to participate in the political process here. Some are excluded because of the nationality. Not all nationalities are permitted to vote in local elections. And as foreigners, we are only allowed to vote in local elections. But last elections, 2019, there were around about 1,000 um, foreigners, internationals actually voted in the election. And we reckon that's out of about 12,000 that were eligible to vote. Obviously, some are children as well that will be registered, you know. Um, Anyway, that's these are just my thoughts, and you know, you make of them what you will. But I certainly would like to see a much stronger representation of the international community in the political life of Mijas. And you know, it's not about politics. A council is about getting things done for your community, and I would like to see us far more involved in getting things done for our community. Okay, maybe I could share with you a little bit about some of the things that I've been kind of up to or involved in, certainly over the last week. I've had a lot of people asking about Ukrainian refugees. Now, I have to say, first of all, I have no idea how many there are, but I have been contacted, and there clearly are some people who have already um, come here from the Ukraine. And people are saying, so, you know, what can we do about it? It's a very difficult question. I suppose on a personal level, people are free to do anything that they wish. But I found out that there is a process. Obviously, people coming from the Ukraine will still need to register at immigration and get a visa to be here. You know, that covers basically anyone who wants to come and live in Spain for any length of time that need a visa to do so, especially if they're not European citizens. And Ukraine isn't part of the European Union. What I also found out is that there is an organization that's called CEAR, which is actually the Spanish Refugee Aid organization, and there is a phone number there, and they will be the first point of contact for people. I've already put a family in contact with CR, and they let me know that CR was going to contact them the next day. So there is a process, and this group. Sorry, I'm going to have to change that. Uh, um, Is that okay? The Spanish Refugee Aid Organization, they are a very good first point of contact, and they will start to help this process of getting registered at immigration and getting the visas. So if you are aware of any families who are in this situation, you know, please do pass on this number to them. And from what I've heard, you know, they are getting back to people very, very quickly. So that's been part of my homework for this week, because to be honest, people were asking me questions and I didn't have a clue. I contacted the Councillor for Social Services, and he gave me various pieces of information. But I think this here with the phone number is probably the most important bit of information for refugees coming from the Ukraine. And I'm saying coming to Mijas, but I guess that this will be good for anywhere in Spain. This isn't just a Mijas number. Okay. What else did I want to say? Um, right. I'm probably going to get into trouble for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I mean, I make no secret of the fact that I am a local politician. I'm a member of the Partito Popular group. But I have to say, I've been smiling a lot, and not particularly with my group, but with all the political groups in Mijas. We're just over a year away from the next elections, and they've all started coming out of the woodwork and getting the photos taken in places that they haven't been for the last 3 years. I call it kiss the baby time. Um, and I read today, and I shouldn't mock this because I think it's a good thing, but the mayor has announced that there will be Spanish classes for Ukrainian refugees. It's a good opportunity in the pre-election year to be doing something. I mean, we don't even know how many there's going to be. We don't know how long they're going to be here. One assumes that if things settle down between Ukraine and Russia, many of these people will want to go back to their homes and their jobs and their families in the Ukraine. But it's a good opportunity for exploiting a situation. And an extra photo, there are 29,000 other um, foreigners living in Mijas, and maybe they would appreciate some of these classes too. I know there is a language exchange group, but it doesn't cope with the volume of non-native Spanish speakers who live in Mijas. We are 1/3 of the population already. Okay, so now probably I would like to go on to the. I suppose the main question that I wanted to ask today. Um, I came up with this idea of live streams. Well, we're coming up for a year now. We've been doing them on a weekly basis for about a year. We've done all sorts of things. We've had locals on. I have some very good people working along with me, and Anandith, who's been giving us updates on Brexit, uh, and Anne and I are in contact certainly, if not on a daily basis, certainly on a 2 or 3 times a week basis on Brexit issues, because I have to ask her things and pass information on to her. We have Daniela Venk, who is very involved in the life of Calahonda, which is an enormous area, and very involved with residents in Calahonda, and picking up on themes to do with the communities around Mijas. And you may say it's political, but I wanted someone to come and talk to us about the council meetings. Um, you know, we have anything between sort of I don't know, anything 8 and 25 people listening live to these live streams, and that doesn't sound like very much. But when you consider that the council meetings, which are streamed live, sometimes only have 5, 6, 10 people listening live, I think we're doing okay. So, I have Mario Bravo with me, who is a colleague of mine from the Partido Popular, giving us his take on the kind of important things that are happening at the council meetings. Because I feel that, people say, oh, I don't know anything about Spanish politics. Well, if you don't take the time to actually inform yourself, then I think it's very true that you're not really going to know very much about what's happening in Mijas and in the council meetings. I'm not going to deal with that now, because we'll have Mario back in a couple of weeks after the March council meeting, filling us in on what's actually happening. So my idea with the live streams was to get various people from various walks of life and different parts of the community to help to try to connect us and give information that I think is useful. And yeah, it goes out live. Of course, it goes out live. But these videos are then available later on YouTube. They're available on Facebook for people to catch up on them at a later time. Um, we got off to a bit of a rocky start with the live streams, because just getting the technology right was quite difficult, and knowing where we could stream to. But I have to say that I'm using different app now, which I think looks very nice. It seems to work very well. And what it allowed me to do was, instead of streaming to my personal Facebook page, it allowed me to stream to my work page. Now, I have probably more people as friends on my personal page, but they're from all over the world. And what is happening in Mijas probably isn't of a lot of interest to many of them. But my work page, I have, I don't know, 3,500 people who follow me on my work page. And I think that most of these people have an active interest in what is happening in Mijas. And since we've done that, the number of views that are coming up from the live streams, I think are very encouraging. But I don't believe in trusting numbers alone. I really would be interested in knowing what your comments are. Um, the numbers have gone up to around 6 or 700 views a week, which I think is very is I think it's very decent. Um, Peter, thank you. Peter says that the live streams are very informative. That's very encouraging. Thank you for that, Peter. And says Fula, says, I always listen to your live streams, even when I think they have no relevance to me. I usually take something from them and they're informative. Thanks. Thank you, says. I really appreciate that. You know, I come up with ideas, but I don't. You know, I don't believe in doing something just because it's my idea. What I want to do is to do things that people find useful. And yes, there are some very nice comments, and people are. I see people taking part in the chats on a regular basis, actually, which gives me some encouragement that people find these valuable. But I really would like to, to get as much feedback as possible from you. You can actually use the comments either in, if you're listening via YouTube or you're listening via Facebook, you can type a comment in and I can put it on the screen. And from David, thank you, David, for all the support and information. I mean, for me, one of the hardest things I think as a local councillor here, um, I've found that quite a large percentage of these 29,000 people that are foreigners here in Mijas, of the international community, come to me for information. And I found it very difficult to find a way to get information generally out to them. It was one of the reasons when, during the whole, I won't say the C word, um, the lockdowns, the confinements, all of that, I decided to start doing videos because it seemed to be the only way to get information out to large numbers of people. And I guess when that settled down a bit, I thought, well, maybe this way is a way to get information out to people on a regular basis. Um, comment from Ron. I also listen every week. Thank you, Ron. And listen, we appreciate all the work you do on your information pages for La Cala and Mijas. You do a fantastic job, Ron. And I'm really glad to hear that you also join in on a regular basis. Um, Okay, I've got a question here from David. Is there any movement in those not vaccinated or with recovery certificate? Need to get back to the place I love. Oh, yeah, David, I have to say, I found it very difficult to keep up to date with what the most recent information is about travel, either travel to Spain or travel to a long list of other countries. Um, in terms of the traveling to Spain or traveling to the UK, I think the UK is still a bit complicated because, England and Wales have one set of regulations. I think Scotland has a separate set of regulations. What I would suggest is that you, I'll see if I can put it up here, that you, use the, let me see if I can do this. Um, you use the gov.uk website, and if I, um if I can put this up, if you type into Google gov.uk travel to or from Spain, they have a very good section on this website. This will take you in Google, and it'll take you to the website. And the good thing about it is updated regularly. When I spoke to the British consul about it, she said sometimes it's updated too regularly, and they have difficulty keeping up with it all. But the just put this into Google, gov.uk travel to or from Spain. Um, I I get very nervous when people ask me for information about this, because things are changing so rapidly that I what I don't want to do is to give people wrong information. So I usually direct them to the this gov.uk travel tour from Spain, and that will give them, the most up to date information I think that there is at the moment. My understanding, and someone may say I'm wrong, is that England has opened up pretty widely. Spain is still asking for up to date vaccination, or I think recovery certificates, but I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I haven't been out in Mijas for 2 years, so I haven't done any traveling at all. But check out the gov.uk travel to or from Spain. Just put that into the search engine, and it'll take you into the gov.uk website, and it will give you the most up to date information that there is on that. Um, so yeah, can I just say it's very nice to have to have so much interaction today. This was one of the ideas that we had, that we would get people involved in this process. As I said, the numbers of views on the videos has jumped enormously since I've been able to stream to my work page, because my work page, which is Bill Anderson Mijas. um, I think the people that like or follow that page are generally people who have a real connection with Mijas, as opposed to my personal page. I've got people in Canada, I've got people in Australia and Greece and all sorts of places, and publishing to my personal page didn't necessarily get to the right audience. But I'm really happy with the numbers. But as I say, numbers alone don't really tell me very much. So I would really like to, whether you're able to give comments now, or whether you're able to put comments later on the Facebook page. And I do try to follow up on all of those. Um, so the question still is, do you find the live streams useful? Please let me know, because I don't want to be doing something. This is really not about me. This is about you. Um, I'm probably the least political politician you will find. I'm a terrible politician. I find the political process really difficult. And again, some people might not like me saying this, but I don't work for a party. I belong to a party, and I'm associated with a party, and I'm very happy to be in that sense. But I don't work for a party. You know why? Because the Partido Popular doesn't pay my salary. You pay my salary, so I work for you, and I will continue to try to respond to what you need. Um, Sometimes I can give you a straight answer. Sometimes I have to chase people who make the decisions, and that's not always easy because I'm still waiting from 3 or 4 weeks ago for replies to things I raised at personal meetings with counsellors, and they say, yeah, 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 we'll do this, and then 3, 4 weeks pass and nothing. And then people contact me and say, "Have you got any news on this?" Well, I can pester them, and I do sometimes, but I also want to be. I don't want to just be a pest, but I do work for you, and some of the things that are happening now. Um, and I look at the Mijas Seminal, and it's just a series of photo shoots, usually what I call firing squad photos, where everybody's lined up and doing nothing but getting their photo taken alongside somebody who's doing something. Um, I get a bit weary of that, and yeah, I publish photos of places I am or places I've been, but what I would like to think I'm doing is promoting the places. Whether I go to Donkey Dreamland or I go to the opening of a new restaurant, I'm not promoting me, I'm promoting them, and simply doing that through my page gets it out to people. But yeah, I work for you folks. I don't work for a political party. I have things I have to do for it, but you pay my salary, not them. Um, I'm not going to keep this going just for the hell of it, folks. I will just I'm playing around with things here. Just remind you that there are still some things going on to help individual families who are known to us, who have moved to this area or surrounding areas from the Ukraine. And we did publicize this last week, but I'm going to stick it back up again. Um, Here we are. Yeah, there is. Let me move that out the way. On Friday the 25th at 7:30 at the restaurant Terras del Águila, there is a quiz night, uh, €15 per person, including wine, maximum 4 per team. My wife and I will be going to this. Actually, let me just make that smaller because you can't see the number here. Here we go. Um, it's not letting me. Okay, let me do this. Yeah, you can see the number now. My wife and I will be going. We're not forming a team of four, but we're quite happy to join another team. Uh, and I'll warn you, I'm terrible at quizzes. I'm one of these people who has random information that jumps into my head when I don't need it, and then when someone asks me a question, I find it difficult to remember what the answer is. But this is being organised by Brexpats in Spain. It's being sponsored by Blevins Franks, Lobster, and Costa Connection, and all of these people, and they're very supportive of the Mijas community. So €15 per person, including wine. Come on, that should be it. And there's hot punch on arrival, delicious tapas, and wine. So if you would like to join in that, as far as I know, that there's still some space for more teams to come in. And Ananda's been very involved in setting this up. So if you would like to do something very practical, please sign up for that, and it'd be nice to meet with you all and get a chance to chat to you all. Well, what can I say? Thank you very much. It's great to have had so many people listening live throughout the show this evening. I will be back next week. She doesn't know it yet, but I think I'm going to be back with Anna Nandith. I will let her know that she's going to be on next week, and she'll be giving us an update on Brexity things, and she'll also give us an update on how things are going with this event in Terras del Águila. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And can I just say to all of you, thank you so much for your support on a day-by-day basis. When we go down to the village, there's always people who stop and say, it's really nice to see you. And for me, it's nice to meet people face to face. And I really appreciate the very supportive environment that I'm working in down here. Well, I think we've still got a bit of rain to come, folks. We are just crossing our fingers. Casa Barella in La Cala has got an event organized for ACE Charity, who, by the way, can I just say, are asking for any donations there are of blankets or towels, especially with this weather when things get wet and it's hard to wash and dry, and food for the animals. I think they've got well over 200 dogs there at the moment, and if you're able to contribute anything, go onto the Facebook page, ACE charity, and I'm sure they would organise when you can drop things in. So a little plug for ACE. Casa Varela are due to have an event for them on Monday, but it may need to be postponed because they really don't have much indoor space, and we'll keep you posted if that's going to go ahead, or if the weather will prevent it from going ahead. So thank you so much for joining me this evening. Well, it's almost weekend, so have a great weekend, whatever the weather, and stay safe, look after yourselves, and have fun. Take care, everyone.